And with me in studio now is Brian Altooni, and Brian's the CEO of WOWIO LLC. Brian, always good to see you.
Hi, Don.
You know, it was a really interesting interview on the show last week where we had you and Dean James and Imaging 3. Dean's not here today, so we're going to talk exclusively about you.
Right.
It's been really fascinating here in the last, I'm going to say 18 months. Because I think 18 months ago, when you said to somebody, what's an e-book, they probably thought it was a book that started with the letter E.
Right.
You know, and we've seen the Kindle come along, we've seen the iPad come along, and all of a sudden this industry is burgeoning.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think what the Internet's offered all content providers really is a global distribution path now. And so, we saw it with television. It wasn't that long ago people said, oh, no one's going to watch television on a computer. And yet, Hulu.com and, obviously, YouTube, which isn't television, but is enough content that, it was a $1.65 billion acquisition by Google. The fact that people are willing to watch content on their computers, and now the convergence, and we've got 3D technology. I mean, there's so much happening now that the Internet really is just becoming a pipe to deliver content. And so we've moved from movies and television, and now obviously into publications and the book space. And so ebooks are really that's sort of the next, it's like the next frontier.
Well, you talk about television on a computer. I mean, a lot of people are watching us on a computer right now because, of course, MoneyTV is kind of a footnote in history. We were the very first business television show to actually broadcast on the Internet as well as regular television. So, back then the screen was about the size of a postage stamp, and now people are watching us full screen. But with this incredible emergence of the e-book industry. I'm going to just call it an industry. It's become one. Now, at WOWIO.com, people can go there and, download books, buy books. Tell us how that whole system works.
Yeah, sure. And I'll tell you, first of all, yes, obviously, you go to WOWIO.com and you can download books. We've got, quite a number of categories that folks can find books and find publications. We really have found, though, that 18 to 35 age category seems to be the category of folks, and I hate to say it, you and I are out of that demographic a little bit, but
a week or two.
But that age group is really, they're absorbing content from every source. They're going to the web to access their material, and so we really found kind of a niche in that space. And obviously, as I've got some history with Platinum Studios in the comic book space, we've got a lot of comic book and graphic novel publishers on that site. Really, because there's not a lot of outlets to access comic book material, especially if you're an independent publisher. And so folks can go and generally we let the publisher set the price on the retail side. And so if somebody wants to go buy a book, they'll download the book, and it's downloaded as a PDF file onto their laptop, onto their desktop, onto their Mac. Doesn't really matter. Frankly, any device, including the Kindle now. The Kindle can read a PDF file. So we chose the most ubiquitous format to deliver that content.
So basically anybody can use it.
That's right. In fact, we got an email from a reader in Bangladesh who had downloaded American literature and actually was thanking us for making it available. And so to answer your question, folks can go and they can pay for a download. Although our model really is also pushing the advertising side. So when we get corporate sponsors or we get advertisers, it will end up being free to the end user, and the publishers will also get paid because basically the advertising is subsidizing a portion of that.
And that's kind of proprietary with you. We talked about this before.
That is, and that is the direction. Obviously, ad-supported content on the Internet is really the backbone of the Internet, and so we really looked at ways that we can monetize that, and we filed a patent back in 2006, and have found out that patent preceded actually Amazon's patent filing, covering the same area by a good 15 months, and so we're pretty close to getting that. We're in the last conversations with the U.S. Patent Office to have that approved. That's going to be significant for us.
That's really amazing. So big giant Amazon didn't get in quite as quickly as you did with that patent.
Yeah, it's interesting because they've changed their model quite a bit. In fact, the Kindle was the big thing, right? In fact, this is why we got a lot of attention in the space, because Amazon came out with a Kindle. A lot of people were scratching their heads saying, why would Amazon, who's a bookstore, go to the ebook space? Well, first of all, obviously, one of the things they found is that the purchases of hardcover books actually increased with the distribution of ebooks. But they really were trying to corner that market. But what we found is that anytime a hardware provider tries to create a kind of a walled garden where you can only access that content and play it on that one device, it really is a death knell. I don't know why they continue to do it. In fact, just this week, Amazon came out with a Kindle for PC application, and with the iPad, a Kindle for iPad application. So in a way, they've already acknowledged that having a specific dedicated device is not the only way to go. It's not necessarily the way to go. And so the other thing that they've noticed is that future revenues for them, the way to bring the price down on these books is to have some sort of advertising subsidy. And that's really where the big fights are. In fact, if you see it in the news, Amazon's constantly fighting with publishers about price setting and how the prices are going to be, who's going to set it, how much the publisher is going to get. The publishers are trying to hold on to their piece of the pie. The reality is once they follow the model that the music industry has now followed, making it available at a low or no cost to the end user, that's really where we're going to see a huge uptake in the ebook space, and that is going to come with some advertising component. Yeah, it's interesting. When I listen to you talk about this technology, it makes me think like I'm in Bill Gates' garage in 1976. Yeah. Again, WOWIO LLC. For more information, visit their website, wowio.com. Brian, always a pleasure. Thanks, Tom.